Hello, welcome to Grow Your Revenue with Smart Recommendations. My name is Mason, and I'm responsible for product marketing at BSense. And I have with me Leonard, our product manager for recommendations. Today, we will share insights from deploying recommendations for major e-commerce brands. If you have any questions at any time during this presentation, just type it in the comment section and one of our team members will answer it. It's getting more and more expensive to get traffic to your site, which means we absolutely need to make the most out of every session. Deploying recommendations have been a proven way to drive more revenue by increasing the cart size and increasing the conversion rate. Product recommendations have become a staple on e-commerce sites and can be found on over 90% of all online shops and all major e-commerce platforms. In fact, 35% of purchases made on the e-commerce giant Amazon's platform came from product recommendations. This means if your e-commerce site does not have recommendations, you are guaranteed to underperform by 35%. However, simply having product recommendations on your site doesn't automatically mean they will do well. A study asking visitors to fashion e-commerce shops had less than 20% of shoppers say their online product recommendation experience was relevant to them. Simply put, most recommendation solutions have limited impact. The top 3 reasons for this is because recommendations are thrown off by bad or inaccurate product descriptions. 2, they don't match the shopping intent. And 3, these recommendations are not personalized. Well, first off, a big issue with e-commerce recommendations is having bad, inaccurate, or incomplete product descriptions. Most recommendations find relations between products through analyzing the text description. So by not having the most relevant information about a product, you will not be able to make good recommendations, as the recommendation engines deeply rely on having the most up-to-date and relevant product description. Secondly, the recommendations don't match the shopping intent. Every shopping session, the shopper is on a mission to find something: a hat for a fishing trip or a gown for a night out. Simply showing any additional product to a visitor does not ensure that they will buy it. Showing outdoors equipment to someone looking for items for a night out will not get you very far, which is key to have recommendation engines that show relevant products that match the shopper's intent. And recommendations, like all software tools, need to be constantly tested and optimized so we can really detect the shopper's intent. Lastly, most results for recommendations are not personalized. The vast majority of recommendations out there show products based on the site visitors' demographics, such as age, geography, or income. While this may work some of the time, the recommendations made are not accurate enough to truly deliver the best product to each potential shopper. For certain types of e-commerce sites, such as those selling fashion products like apparel, these recommendations rarely work. So let me give you an example. Mick Jagger and Prince Charles, they're both wealthy men in their 70s living in the London metropolitan area. Therefore, most recommendation engines would group these 2 men together and would show the exact same product. But if you are a site selling menswear, you would not want to show the same recommendations to these 2 demographically similar, but otherwise very different men. So how can we fix recommendation problems, and how can we improve the recommendation results? First off, there's recommendations with advanced computer vision. And secondly, there's recommendations with on-site behaviors. These are 2 methods to improve the recommendation results. With advanced computer vision, recommendations accurately takes into account the visitor's intent, as this is as close as possible to the offline shopping experience. When you go to a store to look for a dress or a suit, the representative will offer you something visually similar to try on. Because these recommendations are based off images, they're able to accurately detect the intent of the session. Additionally, you do not need to worry about inconsistent, insufficient product descriptions. So the second way to tackle this problem is recommendations based on the on-site behavior or the session. These recommendations look at the visitor's on-site behavior and recommend products that are relevant to that specific browsing session. If you're on that site looking for a dazzling suit, the site will show you more dazzling suit. If you're looking for a gray suit, then the site will show you more gray for similar suits. Both of these recommendation types are much better and are both able to match the shopper's intent, offer personalized experience, and are not reliant on product description. So, based on the different browsing session and the visual element of items that are being viewed, these two wealthy London-based men in their 70s have a very different recommendation results, and these results will be tailored to what they're looking for.
Now, I would like to turn it over to Leonard, who will show you how our customers use smart recommendations on their site to increase AOV and conversion.
Thanks, Mason. Hi, everyone. My name is Leonard, and I'm the product manager for recommendations over here at VSense. Let's take a look at some companies who have used VSense to great effect. First, we have Showpo, a very popular global women's fashion brand based in Sydney, making over $30 million in annual revenue and shipping to more than 100 countries. When Showpo came to us, they were looking to create a shopping experience that would inspire their shoppers in whichever direction they wanted to go. And so over here, you can see for this, for every PDP that they have a C-similar carousel. And what this carousel showcases is the range of alternatives to the product that the shopper is currently viewing. In this case, the product is cargo pants, and we showcase a range of cargo pants and or baggy pants that might be of interest. What our computer vision algorithm does in the background is scan the image of every product and find and rank the most similar looking products to present the recommendations that you see right now. This carousel plays a big role in keeping their shoppers engaged until they find the right product. They also have a style with carousel that takes customers on a journey to shop for an outfit. Not only does this strategy create an enjoyable shopping experience, but it also enables Showpo to monetize these professionally generated model photos completely automatically. Again, powered by our visual recognition technologies, we scan the collection of photos for each product, select the most suitable model photo, and surface all relevant in-stock products that is worn by the model. If the product exists, we recommend it, we will find it, we'll recommend it, and we also recommend similar looking alternatives so that the shopper has choice as they browse and go on to their shopping journey. These two carousels work in harmony, and it's a very common combination deployed by our customers to create a enjoyable and unique shopping experience while at the same time producing very positive lifts in key metrics such as CTRs, conversion rates, and AOV. Another quick example that I would like to bring attention to is iBuyDirect, one of the top online destinations for eyewear and also part of EssilorLuxottica, the largest company in the global eyewear market today. For those of us who have shopped for eyeglasses in a physical store, part of what makes the experience great is a knowledgeable and helpful optician that brings you a family of frames similar in style, so that as a shopper, you know that you have browsed the entire range of what you are interested in and have picked the best pair for your face. iBuyDirect has implemented a visually similar carousel that replicates this experience for their online shoppers. And it looks something like this. So you can see that these are just some simple examples of how successful retailers have used our products to create better shopping experiences for their customers and generate better performance on their websites. Over here at vSense, we have a platform called the Discovery Suite that enables any product or category owner to easily manage the recommendation lifecycle. Every recommendation you introduce on your website is a key engagement mechanism, which should be ideated, tested, and improved continuously. The best retailers we work with run multiple tests every quarter, and we have broken down this cycle into 3 key steps. First is about identifying the experience that you want to add to your website. Then you refine that experience with some logic and business rules, and then you A/B test it to make data-driven decisions. We nail down these steps so that it's easy for you to manage. And let me just show you how easy it is to go through it in the Discovery Suite. So over here, we're on the Discovery Suite right now. Now, suppose you observe that there's a high bounce rate on your product details page, and you have a couple of ideas on there. You know, maybe you're thinking that customers are not seeing enough alternatives, or maybe they need something a little bit more inspirational and have more of a cross-category experience. Or maybe you know that they react best to recommendations of products that they have recently viewed and is personalized to their most recent interests. Regardless of your idea, once you have a strong hypothesis, you select a recommendation algorithm that would materialize your intended strategy, which is available on selection. So for the sake of demonstration, let's say you think that showing a full range of relevant alternatives would meaningfully address the bounce problem. So over here, what you do is you create a visually similar strategy, and now you find yourself already previewing similar recommendations to a product in your catalog. Now, we built this section so that you and your colleagues can quickly preview and see the actual product images of the recommendations generated and be able to evaluate it. There is no need for any sophisticated workflows involving multiple teams connecting to a staging environment. We understand that speed is key in experimentation, and that's what we have designed this for. With this, you and your colleagues can quickly get a sense of whether the recommendations are in the ballpark of what you would like your shoppers to see. Now, once you're at this stage, what next? You shape it with some business rules that you think would make the recommendation perform better. What do I mean by that? Let's go through a couple of examples. So let's say you're retailing some bags, okay? And you have a red bag over here. You can see this range of recommendations. They all have some, you can see some aspects of similarity to the product that is being viewed. But when we talk about visual similarity, there are actually a couple of aspects to it, broadly 2 of them. One is the color of the product, and the other is the shape and style of the product. And in our preview, we enable you to create different strategies to hone in on these differences depending on what you find works best with your customers. So looking at this example over here, the recommendations are on a style-first configuration setting. So the model picks up on details like the rectangular shape of the bag, the triangular front flap, the diagonal lines on the back, and even the unique Yves Saint Laurent logo on the, and so the recommendations are a combination of these elements. Whereas when I toggle over to color, it is very clear that red becomes the primary recommendation criteria. Another example. Let's say you're looking at polo tees. And what you find with your shoppers is that they enjoy looking at products of the same brand first. So in this example, you can see that the recommendations, they all look very similar and they all come from different brands. And in order to effect the hypothesis that you have of same brands, all you have to do is simply apply a same brand first strategy where we prioritize similar looking polo tees of the same brand, followed by different brands. And you can see that this is the result. All right. Now, let's take a look at another example. So this one is a really popular one. And it's about price. Often when a shopper is looking at a particular product, there is a price range close to the product that they're viewing that they're comfortable with. If you go too high, those recommendations quickly become irrelevant. But if you go too low, sometimes it's just below a quality threshold that the shopper is comfortable with, or it decreases the basket size, and that may not be something that you want. So if you take this cap, for example, you see similar looking caps, but with a very wide price range from $50 all the way to about $500. What you can do to keep the shopper within a price range that is comfortable with, while also subtly nudging them to look at more quality options, is maybe to set a price range of 90% to 200%. So how do I do that? Basically, come into this view, configure a rule that always triggers, and have products be recommended where the price is between 90% to 200% of the product. And now you have it. You can see that the range of products that are recommended have now shifted according to the rule that you have set. I mentioned iBuyDirect previously. When iBuyDirect had their visually similar carousel on their PDP, they found that while it increased conversion rate, shoppers were using the recommendations to arrive at cheaper alternatives, which meant that their basket size was becoming smaller. So they experimented with a price range rule that showcased more products that were of a higher quality and also a little bit in a higher price range. And they successfully raised their conversion rate by 7% and their possession value by 4%. This is one of several tests that iBuyDirect has run to optimize the performance of their PDP. The key here is being able to consistently test different ideas, put them in front of shoppers, and make data-driven decisions. A painless way to do that is to A/B test it. And the A/B testing process should be as frictionless as possible, as that is critical into testing these ideas, which is why we have a way for you to A/B test different BSense strategies natively within the Discovery Suite, with no code beyond the initial setup and no dependency on any IT or testing teams that might extend the waiting time to run a test. Once you have selected your strategy and you've built your rules, simply head over to the A/B test page and create a test. Creating a test is a simple process of simply naming a test, setting the variance or different strategies that you want to compare, and splitting the traffic between the strategies. And that's it, you're done. So once you start running the test, we showcase the metrics that would matter to you and give you a simple overview of how these strategies are performing. You can compare key stats like CTRs, conversion rates, and average order values, and whether or not you have a statistically significant outcome without having to get a data analyst involved. And that's it. So we're done with a recommendation lifecycle. And once again, I emphasize that every recommendation that you introduce on your website is a key engagement mechanism with your shopper, and it should be ideated, tested, and improved continuously. In the Discovery Suite, you have a simple but powerful way to manage this, as I've just demonstrated, and I'm confident that you will be able to meaningfully impact the performance of your online store with this tool at your disposal. That's all the time I have for today. Over to you, Mason.
Thanks, Leonard, for showing us how I Buy Direct and Showpo set up and improve smart recommendation. At vSense, we have been working with top e-commerce brands for the past 10 years, and our technology has been recognized as top in the industry by major analysts. Some of our clients include well-known apparel, home goods, eyewear, and luxury brands.
So what makes a recommendation smart? Our recommendations use leading edge machine learning algorithms and work in all verticals, but has been perfected by dedicated specialists for fashion, luxury, apparel, eyewear, and home decor industry. And this has been proven to outperform recommendations from earlier forms of AI, as it is optimized to increase the top line, business metrics you care about, such as profit, conversion, and revenue. Our automated shop to look and complete the look recommendations work to increase the average order value. And our visually similar recommendations and personalized session-based recommendations work to increase the conversion rate. Retailers produce model shots for their products to enhance the customer experience, but it can be frustrating for customers when they can't track down the particular accessory or secondary product being shown in those photos. So shop to look recommendations let you monetize these model photos instantly. It is fully automated and it saves hours of work. So how it works is it searches your catalog for the product displayed in the model shot. And if it's not in the catalog, or if it's out of stock, we will show the closest visual alternative product. So this allows you to take advantage of photos you already have to unlock additional revenue. Complete the look recommendations automatically show items to visitors that go well with what they are currently viewing. Manually curating complementary items is also very time consuming, and often the outfits choices made by people or teams of people are not always effective. Our leading edge AI and fashion-centric computer vision makes outfit choices based on style and location that work to increase upsell and cross-sell opportunities. Most of all, this even works without model images. So if you have model images, this can complement shop to look, but if you do not, we can create outfits that are always in stock with no additional photo shoots required. So how do smart recommendations increase conversion rates? Our visually similar recommendations allow more choices to the visitors and keep them actively engaged, which leads to proven conversion rate increases. And these are recommendations based on what the visitors is currently viewing. And that allows it to capture the intent, because this is how most of us like to shop in stores. And it's been proven to perform better than other retail strategies as it overcomes the dissimilar look flaw that collaborative filtering or other AI recommendations have. Additionally, the visitor is less likely to leave your site if the desired product is out of stock, when they can easily find alternatives. Furthermore, these recommendations do not require the AI model to be trained and covers the entire catalog on day one. Personalization is a proven retail strategy, but how can we personalize in an age when people are more protective of their data and stricter privacy laws are being enacted? Even Google is phasing out third-party cookies. So this is where session-based recommendations comes in. We can make personalized experiences without collecting personal data. And these recommendations are able to detect the visitor intent from their browsing session alone. But furthermore, these algorithms dynamically adjust to the shopping mission to show the best possible item. And lastly, session-based recommendations deliver personalized shopping experience for everyone, right? Including first-time and non-logged-in users.
That concludes Grow Your Revenue with Smart Recommendations. As a special thank you for everyone joining, we're offering vSense Smart Recommendations and our Discovery Suite free of charge for the next 30 days. So you can start in a day, employ in 1-2 days on most popular e-commerce platforms. And we are here to provide assistance when you need it.
Speak with us today and get the most out of your e-commerce site search and product catalog. Visit www.vsins.com to learn more.